This is Abe Friedtanzer from Ward's Buzz, and I'm very excited to be speaking with Sean Wang and Joan Chen about Didi. How are you both doing today?
Great.
Look at this.
I Oh wow. All
Yeah,
right.
sugar high.
I I really enjoyed this film. I missed it at Sundance and other festivals, so I'm happy to have finally seen it. And Sean, I had seen 99 WIPO, last year when it was nominated for the Oscar, and I'm curious about your transition from that film to this one.
Um, I mean, it was both like the obvious transitions are, documentary to narrative, short to feature. I think people bring that up a lot, but I don't know. In my brain, I don't really see a difference between it. I've jumped between narrative and documentary my whole life. I've done a little bit more documentary than narrative just because I think it's easier to keep small, but I think Sam Davis, who shot and produced the short with me, who also shot Dìdi, I think we kind of try to straddle both worlds. And I think with this film, we try to bring a documentary spontaneity to everything. And then with 99 Whitepole, we try to bring in a narrative craft and cinematic language, as hoity-toity as that sounds. But, it felt different in the sense that there was a bigger budget and there was a bigger infrastructure. But I think we deliberately designed the production to always feel like we had one foot in this world that was just we're not doing anything drastically different than what I've been doing for the last 10 years, which was making films with my friends.
How much does this story resemble your own life?
I mean, the broad strokes of it, it's definitely a world that I know like the back of my hand. And the world is autobiographical in the sense that, I'm from the Bay Area, I'm from Fremont. I was a skater, am a skater. That's how I got into filmmaking, son of Taiwanese immigrants. But everything within that world, I felt permission to modify or change or fictionalize to serve the themes of our story. And that was, 7 years of writing.
And Joan, what spoke to you about the story and about your character specifically?
Well, he said the script is 7 years in the making, and it showed, when I received the script, it was solid. It was really good and it moved me very much.
Not a single typo.
Uh, so I relate to the character. I just like Sean's mom and the character in the film, I am an immigrant mother who tried very hard to raise two American children along the way, making mistakes, unsure, with the misunderstanding and confusion of the cultural chasm between the two generations. So I relate to it emotionally very, very much. I felt that the movie is a chance for me to just pour it out, of my own personal experience also, and also trying to be the better version of it, be the gentler, the calmer, with greater forbearance. Um, but the love is the same. I don't think there is another love as fierce as the mother to her children.
What can you say about Sean finding and Joan working with Isaac, who's really so terrific?
Yes, sir. Um, I mean, it's the word you just said. It was terrific. He gave me and the movie exactly what I dreamt of, which was an experience of working with, someone who could lead a movie, someone who was emotionally like responsible enough that we could trust the movie with. It's a lot of responsibility for a 14, 15-year-old to he's in basically every scene of the movie. We break perspective a couple times for Joan, but more or less he's in every single scene of the movie. And he handled it like a total pro, and like a total professional, and also brought this sort of irreverent punk kid energy to the set, which was what the character needed. It's what I needed. It's what, again, I really dreamt of. We got to have this experience with him, and that was, for him, he's only 16, but I would imagine it's one of the defining experiences he's had as an actor. And for me, it's the defining experience I've had as a director. It's the defining experience of my 20s. It's the defining experience of my entire young adult life that has just been sort of filtered through the heart of Isaac. And it's just a real joy and privilege that I got to be his director. And now that we're doing press and releasing it out into the world, I get to see him grow up, and he's entering his senior year of high school. And I get to kind of see him, sounds cliche, like become a man, and sort of get to see him graduate and get to see him kind of, become this person that we now share this extremely intimate experience. Same with Joan, so that was what I wanted for the film, and I think it's what he gave me. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, they did a good job casting us together. People say, oh, how do you build the chemistry together, how much time or what, but we had no time, but we didn't need to. It just, the chemistry is either there or not there, and we did have it. And so the first time I met with him, I felt I could talk to him like I'm talking to my kid, and so it was just well cast, I think. And he like Sean said, he's a little pro. So it's not hard to work with him. It's really enjoyable to work with him. Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit older than the characters in this film, but one thing I really appreciated is the AOL Instant Messenger and the very, sort of work in progress YouTube. How does a young, cast of actors respond to this world that I'm not sure they can relate to very much, but for a lot of us is really something we remember quite clearly?
Well, I mean, the reaction to it was much more in like now watching the movie than it was making the movie, just because I the bet that I took was that, I can watch a movie like Stand By Me that was made decades ago, and I still see me and my friends in it. And I can watch a movie like 400 Blows and so again, see myself in it. And I didn't want to bog them down with the sort of how the logistics of technology and all of that stuff. It wasn't important to me that they understood how Facebook or MySpace worked. It was important to me that they understood the emotion that's behind all of these user interfaces. And we built that all in post. So it's not like they even had to learn it. They had to learn how to use a flip phone and text T9 texting, which was actually very difficult for them. And they still don't know how to do it. But yeah, I think now that they've watched the movie, again, they're kind of like, whoa, what is that program? What are these UI? But again, like, I think, someone said this yesterday, but I think Isaac's equivalent of, MySpace getting removed from your friend's top 8 is now like for him getting removed off of your friends, like Instagram close friends. Like the context changes, but the context changes, but the emotions don't. Or yeah, I don't know.
The technology is
something like
different,
that, yeah.
but yeah.
You received any surprising reactions from people at festivals or more recently as the film has been released?
I mean, I'm surprised at how overwhelmingly positive, I guess, everything has been. It's been a very someone came up to me at a screening and called our movie mainstream. She was like, it's so great that we have mainstream movies like this. And I was like, sorry, did you say we were mainstream?
Oh yeah, it certainly has exceeded my expectation. That overwhelmingly people just love the film once they see it, and the audience just really respond so well to the film.
Yeah. Which was the hope, but I think we really made this movie. We kept it deliberately small, we kept it deliberately independent, and we kept it, at a size where we could just make the movie we wanted to make without having to, cater to the demands of any one financing source, or, it was kind of small enough that it was just like, all right, well, do your thing. And we did our thing. It was just like, hopefully people like it. And for it to premiere at Sundance, win Sundance, get picked up by Focus, have every pre-screening be sold out and packed. And now that it came out last week, and to be like, one of the top specialty openings of the year, is just kind of like, when is the other shoe gonna drop? Like it's just
Yeah.
a little, it's all good, but it's just kind of like, whoa, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I believed it would be a good film, but didn't really expect,
Mhm.
to be reviewed so well, to be loved by all the audience so well. So it's really very heartening. It's wonderful.
Is there a particular audience that you think still might not know about this film that you would especially love to be able to discover it?
Mm. Good question. I mean, my mom says, she's like, I've been individually texting all the Asian moms that I know, because I imagine the audience that Focus Features taps into is not maybe the 60-year-old woman in my life. So I am going, basically, she's doing her own grassroots approach for all the, youth group moms and moms at the supermarket that she knows. And she's just like, hey, come watch my son's movie.
I stopped using Instagram for 7 years. I forgot even how to use it. I wasn't on social media, and for this film, I got back on. So I'm still not doing a great job, but it's a work that we're really proud of, and we put in the heart and the work and labor of love. And, so really hope the audience will go. I mean, once they're in the theater, they love it. The question is how to bring them there. Yeah.
But that's my biggest accomplishment of all this, I think, is getting Joan back on Instagram.
Well, we'll make sure this interview is shared on Instagram. Thank you both so much, and I wish you plenty of luck with this film.
Awesome. Thank you so much.